What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Block Hash Podcast channel. Let's talk crypto. Be sure to also check out our Patreon, where you can get chart analysis Monday through Friday, as well as exclusive and bonus content for the podcast. So support us there. Really appreciate it. What's going on with Binance? So Binance has temporarily, they fixed this now. Everything's back to normal. But just over the weekend, they had a temporary pause on Bitcoin withdrawals because they were way exceeding the inflows going into Binance. About $4.4 billion in Bitcoin has been shifted. This is a big deal. A lot of this is due to a lot of the panic around the banking sector and around the economy, and people wanting to pull their Bitcoin from exchanges like we've talked about in the past. And I think there's a big concern right now with holding your money in fiat and the future of exchanges right now, whether it's in the US or elsewhere, given the regulatory environment. I want to read this article for you to give a bit more context, as we always do when we go into the news. So let's see what happened to Binance. Binance has moved a large stash of Bitcoin between its crypto wallets over the weekend as the platform halted Bitcoin withdrawals, citing network congestion. They did this because they had to make sure that people could withdraw their Bitcoin because so much is being pulled out. According to analysis on-chain data by CryptoQuant's head of research, Julio Moreno, Binance moved about $4.4 billion worth of Bitcoin across its digital asset wallets on Sunday in two tranches of 117,000 and 40,000 Bitcoins. He said, in reality, these are Bitcoin being sent to newly created change addresses that belong to Binance. In a tweet as well from Mr. Julio Moreno, a lot of people commenting about the huge Bitcoin outflows from Binance today. The two transactions we talked about. In reality, these are Bitcoin sent to newly created change addresses. Outflows are most likely just blah, 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 blah. Addressing the move, Binance said in an early Monday tweet that Bitcoin was moved between Binance hot and cold wallets due to the Bitcoin address adjustments. And a cold wallet is a type of cryptocurrency wallet, obviously, that securely stores your private keys like Ledger, Trezor, and a bunch of others out there that are popular. Much safer than hot wallets, software wallets, those on your phone and computer. Much harder to hack. Much less vulnerable to loss of digital assets. So why did Binance halt Bitcoin withdrawals? Network congestion. Now, I gotta say that this network congestion is likely and most definitely coming from the ordinals in the BRC20 tokens being created because of this Pepe Memecoin pump phase that's going on right now. Everyone wants to create their own token. They all want to create their own meme coin, and this is congesting the Bitcoin network. I don't think this is a bad thing. It's just it hasn't really happened before. If you're a Bitcoin maximalist, then you're going to see this as something that's so detrimental to Bitcoin because Bitcoin is old, secure, and pure, and it is what it is. And then at the same time, if you're someone that likes a multi-chain ecosystem, or you like specific use cases being developed out on your blockchain, then you're saying, oh, this is a good thing. It's adding more utility to Bitcoin, even more possibilities and more value on chain. I'm kind of in that camp if I had to pick, but it is creating a little bit of problems in terms of congestion, because when you have 10-minute blocks and you try to shove everything into a 10-minute block, and now you have all these tokens being created, it slows down transactions. It's harder for Bitcoin transactions to come to finality and be confirmed. So if it takes you 10 minutes to transfer Bitcoin, it might now take you 30 or 40 minutes. We've seen these things happen in the past, and this is due to a glut of pending transactions. Very, very interesting what's happening. So not just Ethereum that has had this issue, now it's Bitcoin. I'm curious to see what people do as a result of this, but let's continue with the article. As of now, the number of unconfirmed transactions still stands above 400,000, which is near record levels. And the surge in fees can be partly attributed to the increasing adoption of ordinal subscriptions, like we just talked about, which are the equivalent of NFTs minted on the Bitcoin network. Bitcoin recorded a new all-time high for the number of daily transactions last week in the wake of JP Morgan Chase's acquisition of First Republic. So yeah, that's what's going on with why Binance had to put a temporary hold on Bitcoin withdrawals. Let's jump over to the chart for Bitcoin. We are in our box still. I'm happy about that. That's fine. Bitcoin's going to continue moving sideways and fluctuating. It's altcoins that I'm a little wary about right now, but Bitcoin is just consolidating sideways. If it does break down through our lovely box here, so we break down through my resistance of 27,000, then we likely come into this inflection zone. Now, this inflection zone I just drew up this morning is kind of consists of our relative top that we had. So we have this 25,000 to 25,500 area of resistance that we had before. If you remember, back in March, back in February, back in March, we were talking about, oh, we got to get through 25,000, then we can go to 30. So that former ceiling is now our former floor, is now our new floor, right? So I like to look at these inflection points to see, are we starting a new trend? We take a while to break through a ceiling. Eventually we come down to retest that ceiling as a new floor. And if we come down and test it and bounce, usually that's a really good bullish sign. And that's natural, something that happens in markets all the time, that happens in crypto all the time. That is one possible scenario. Right now, Bitcoin's fine. It's just consolidating sideways, kind of like it did between late January and early March before it ran up to a new level. So I just want to see, can we hold 27,000 for Bitcoin? If not, then we will head to this inflection zone. Either way, both scenarios are fine. In worst case scenario, we have a massive pullback and we go back to our long-term trend line since the beginning of the year, where we bounced at about 20,000 held support, or we could likely come down to 23,000, 24,000 at some point. So that's the third and worst case scenario that we need to retest to maintain this Bitcoin funnel-esque type object and situation. All right, guys, make sure to like the video, comment your thoughts down below on what is going on with these Binance halts on withdrawals. And if you think it's a good sign that Bitcoin is being pulled from exchanges in mass, I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. I think that's what people should be doing, and it solidifies Bitcoin and its price. The less Bitcoin on exchanges means the less sell volume is there. So we'll have a strong floor. It'll be hard to go past that. And when the buys come in, it'll be parabolic. People will not be able to get their money in quick enough to sell. So I like it. It's a good long-term sign. Comment your thoughts down below. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. We just got over 1,000 subscribers finally, getting closer to our monetization benchmarks. Anyways, talk to you guys tomorrow. Cheers.